Okay, this is a bike I just had built last week. It's a Delta 7 carbon frame and Enve 6.7 Clinchers. First, the frame is out of Utah. They were a company, Delta 7, which became COVID, and now they're racing. They're building similar frames, a little bit more advanced in the design now. The Delta 7 is a lattice structure they call isotruss, and there's a Kevlar woven in there. The difference between the Delta 7 and the current Razek, one of the changes the Razek made is that they have internal routing with the cables, but the Delta 7 they don't have that. Against carbon isotruss design, questions I often get is there a lot of give, or in the wind does it whistle, things like that. The frame's super strong. I think when people ask if the frame's stiff, I think that's just a typical question you get. It's a really strong frame. The wheels make it an even better ride. I've taken it all over, taken it abroad, even up to Alpe d'Huez a few times, and it rides real great. This frame, or the Delta 7, was ridden in the Tour of Utah a few years ago, so it's definitely a race-worthy frame. And I know some traditionalists may not like it, but I really do. So if you enjoy bike you ride, that's one thing that makes riding even more pleasurable. So the wheels are Enve's 6.7s. Enve's also out of Utah, and the 6.7s are called the Smart System design, based on the gentleman who's behind the design. Part of what makes this wheel set different is that the front is not as deep as the rear. However, the front is a 24mm width, and the rear is a 22. Supposedly to help with wind and so forth. For me, what I like about the wheels is a little different than the zips, that they ride much better in the crosswinds. I took it out in the San Francisco Bay Area in Marin this week and had a really windy day, and they rode beautifully. There weren't any issues. I didn't get pushed around, and they climbed real nice. The one thing you'll need to know if you get the 6.7s, which I highly recommend you do, and I'm not a rep or anything, I just ride the wheels, is that you'll want to get a really beefy brake like Dura-Ace, and I really like these Dura-Ace brakes. I had the TRPs on there, and the builder said he couldn't use them. Then I got some SRAMs, and they couldn't be used. They need a really beefy brake that can accommodate the 24mm width and give a really good clamp and braking. So after a few tries, these were the brakes, and I really like them. So it's a mismatch set. I have a SRAM and the Dura-Ace. On the rear I have a medium cage SRAM, and I really like the shifting of this medium-sized cage. It's really smooth. And for the crank, I have a rotor. Let's see, what else? And for the front fork, though, it's Edge. Edge turned into Enve, and what happened was that there was a company in Europe that is Edge, and they sent a cease and desist order to what is now Enve. So Edge became Enve in the United States. So, so that's it. Like I said, the frame is really comfortable. It's a really comfortable ride, but also race-worthy frame, and the wheel set's fantastic. I really like the setup on this bike. I've only had it out for a couple rides thus far, but I have no complaints. It's my best bike build and the best ride I've had in several years. So that's it. Take care.